I'm in the arena with Magic today. This is going to be an update on where she is with her training in becoming a halt therapy horse. I will be using some of our harmony skills as well. So if you're doing halt or you're doing the harmony, either way, this will be a good reminder and a refresher of how to use those skills and an update on where she is. So Magic is a 17-year-old saddle paint horse. She came to us in June, extremely underweight, extremely disconnected. And we were confused a little bit about her horseanality. She seemed to be so laid back that we thought she'd be we thought she'd be a left brain introvert because she just didn't want to move and was very sucked in. Well, she has put on quite a bit of weight, and she's really coming into herself. She was already doing some counseling halt sessions, and honestly, some of those sessions I don't think she was ready for. She has her own trauma that she seems to be dealing with, and some of those sessions really seem to bring that out. She became so disconnected, we've pulled her out of sessions temporarily, and we will have to see if that's the kind of work that she can handle. So her horseanality right now, today, is probably going to be a right brain extrovert. How do I know that? I'm going to watch her energy, how she responds, and she needs to move her feet a lot. So that is a clear sign of being a right brain extrovert. So we've been in the arena probably 15 minutes already. I was doing some other videos. She had plenty of feet moving to do. So she's calming down just a bit right now. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and get her on halter. And I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I'm going to be doing to test and see where she's at. Honestly, trying to get her grounded back in her mind and her body to get her more responsive, more obedient to my requests that I'm making. So let me get my halter. Here we go. Okay, so here is Magic. She thinks we're leaving the arena, so she's more than happy to try to come over and get the halter on her. But we've got some other things to do today. So I'm going to approach her like we do in Harmony Horsemanship. I'm going to ask permission, just with my intention. Can I go up and touch your neck now? I would like to halter you. And that is what my body language is going to be saying. So I'm going to go up and just pause right before I touch her. And you can tell she's honestly even leaning away from me here. Like she's not looking at me. She's not curling around me. She acts like she does not want me to touch her. So I might just take a step away and disconnect. And you can see right away that she was like, nah, don't need you, see you, that did not feel good, don't want that. So I could have thrown the rope and halter over her head. I could have grabbed her and we could have gone on with our day. But again, I want her to be a partner in what we're doing here. So I want to give her the opportunity to want to be caught or want to be haltered. So let me try it again. So I'm going to go up. And I'm feeling about right here is probably where I need to stop with my hand. You can see she's still wanting to move her head away, not necessarily looking at me. There's a little tip, and I like that better. And when she does that, I'm going to drop my energy. I'm going to make sure I listen to that and I solve that. So again, I'm going to come up, and I feel like I can touch a little closer here. The head lowering is nice, but you can tell that she still needed to move away. Like she still wasn't comfortable with me being up and touching her. So she's given me a lot of information, a lot of feedback here. Again, she's moved a step away. So I'm going to take my pressure off for a minute. And you can see she's looking outside the arena continuously. She's not really interested in what's going on. There's a small shift. She just did a little small check-in with me. So I might go ahead and just put some energy behind her there. Because what I would like her to do is catch me instead of me catching her. So when she turns and looks away, I'm going to put pressure on. When she comes in and looks at me, I'm going to take pressure off. Here we go. When she comes over here to the gate, which is where she likes to hide, I'm going to put a lot of pressure. So I don't want her hanging out there. So her reward is standing here catching her breath. I'm not going to pounce on her or her face right now, because I want her to want to be with me. Hi. So I'm going to take a couple steps and see if she stays connected, and I'm going to invite her to walk with me. Good. And she did. Good. Once she's willing to stand there with me and take a few steps, then I feel like that I can reach in and touch her. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the rope around her neck. And she's a big girl. I know some of you guys are shorter, so that might be easier to go for the base of the neck anyway. And then I'm going to teach her how to be haltered with confidence. Because you can tell she's still very worried. She's putting her head up. She's fidgeting. She's not really paying attention. So what I want from her is I want her head lowered. So I'm going to just put some pressure behind her ears. And when she lowers her head, I take it off. There. I like the softness in her head, her neck when she drops it. A little more pressure there. She's still wanting to look out instead of wanting to look into me. I don't want her in my space. I'm going to be ready to block her with my arm if I need to. She's very worried about her environment right now. And not that she's trying to be bad, she's just trying to take care of herself. So I would like her head to come down and kind of stay lower. And I'm waiting on a release. There's her lick. So what I want her to do is tip her nose to me as I put the halter on. She's just very right-brained right now, so she's having to move her feet or even her head, her body a lot. So once I have her here, I just want to make sure that we're doing nothing, okay? So it's really hard for her to do nothing right now. She has to move, to twitch. She's trying to figure out what the plan, the program is. So this horse is going to need a lot of time doing nothing and a lot of time just standing tied. So I'm going to kind of run through some of the stuff that I do with her. We'll see what she does today. Okay, so one of the things is just her leading. So I have an imaginary line that she is not allowed to cross when I'm leading her. And she's one that likes to really bulge forward and get in front of me. So I'm going to make sure that she understands and remembers this line right here. Good. Good. So the fact that she is just trying to charge forward and get big horse just lets me know that she's not very confident, she's not very relaxed. She gets nervous, and horses in the wild, when they're nervous or scared, they want to push in and get into the middle of the herd. That way the coyotes and lions on the outside aren't going to get them. So this is part of her typical normal nature when she gets nervous, is she's wanting to crowd and get in, but with her size or with any horse's size, it's just too dangerous. So she needs to learn, even though she may not feel okay and feel safe, she is going to have to stay back and out of my space. So you can do it with rope wiggles. You can do it with the tail of your rope that you have here. Kind of swing in the air, or I've just got my handy stick here that I'm going to use as well. So I just want to lead her and make sure she understands. You got to stay back and wait on me. And that was nice. When her head goes up high, I'm just reminding her to lower her head. The more she can put her head down, the quicker she is going to be relaxed. So that's a little hack that you can do to help your horse relax more quickly and pay attention. What I want her to see is that I'm the leader that she can trust in the space. And if I was in the wild with her, that means that I would be on patrol watching, and she would be able to put her head down and either nap or eat or graze or just hang out. So right now she's not used to having, obviously, somebody that she can trust. And it's really hard for her to kind of let that habit go right now. All right, so we're going to play with some harmony games and kind of see what we have. The fact that she's wanting to trot off automatically is another indicator she's being a right brain extrovert again today. She's needing to move those feet. So I'm not going to let her go around too many times without changing it up. So I'm going to shorten my rope, step in, look at her hips, push her around. Now she's wanting to automatically come in, which is okay some of the time, but I'm not going to let her get too close. So I need her to protect my space right here. She's kind of second guessing which way she should go. So again, this is emotional fitness. She needs to stand and wait. Sit her off. Good girl. I like the fact that she was willing to walk that time. Oh, for a few steps. She licked her lips. The trot's a lot softer here. She's not pounding the ground so hard. So all of her muscles and joints just feel a lot softer and looser here. A little blow out. So I'm going to shorten my rope, step in, push her tip around, and have her step in and look. And I don't want her too close. So I will be the one that chooses to go in and connect with her, but I don't need her barging in. So again, she's got the wiggles. I'm going to back her up. Back up. There we go. So backing up is the opposite of what she's wanting to do. She's wanting to use her strength and power to go forward. And I'm going to say, I'm going to take that energy, but I'm going to ask you to push it backwards. And that is not something that she wants to do. So if you can get your horse, horses that are really forward like that, or disrespectful, or push you to back up, that's going to solve a lot of problems. There we go. Lots of licks, heads lower. I'm going to ask her to go this direction. And she's got to move her feet again, so I'm going to let her do that. This trot looks a little different. Her head's up. She's a lot more tense. She's pounding the ground more. She's got her back muscles tense. So I'm not going to let her go around too many times until I shorten my rope, step from her haunches, ask her to disengage. I don't want her to come in this time. She needs to learn to stay out and be okay. She's asking lots of questions here. Which way are we going? What are we doing next? So I'm just going to remind her right there. If she moves, I'll correct her. A lot of emotional fitness happening here. She goes forward, I'm going to back her up. While you're doing this, you want to make sure your feet are deep in the ground as well, and that you take some deep breaths. So it's not that she's necessarily being bad. She's just giving you a lot of information about what's going on in her mind. It's just coming out in her body, the way she's moving, the way she's trembling, the way she's second guessing. Like she's not settled in her body. So my EPs, that's something that you need to be aware of if you're deciding if you were going to use her in a session. These are signs that are saying that she's really not okay and confident in herself or her space. But these exercises will help her get there. I like the lowering of the head. She snuck a step, so I'm just going to send it right back. I'm going to ask her to go. So controlling a horse's speed and direction is one of the quickest ways to establish leadership. So I'm going to shorten my rope, push her haunches. Good. I don't want her to come in. I want her to realize she can still be connected and not be on top of me. Good. I like the response. I like the lowering of the head. Still sneaking a step. I'm going to push her back. This horse cannot do enough backing up. She needs 3 weeks solid of just backing wherever she goes. So I won't have the camera on her doing this, but taking her in and out, I will back her in and out of her pasture gate. I'll back her in and out of the stall. Do a lot of things getting her comfortable with moving backwards. So she's softening up her body here, which I like. Very nice. All right, so we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do a figure eight. Figure eight requires watching where you're going with your feet and also changing directions. So when a horse moves their shoulders, they are giving up leadership and allowing you to direct their energy, which is not something, honestly, that she's really crazy about. So let's see what happens. I'm just going to have her go around the barrels at first. A lot of this is going to be learning the correct angles for your body. So what I'm going to do as she comes around is I'm going to step and push her shoulders. And I like how she did that there. So I'm not pretending it's actually real, but my energy can actually touch her from here. Even though my stick can't, I can still influence her from here. So I'm going to let her come around this barrel. I'm going to back up, and then I'm going to push her shoulders through. I'm going to back up, and I'm going to push her shoulders through. And that's okay if she misses it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to back up, and I'm going to push her through. I'm going to back up. I'm going to push her through. And that was pretty good for her. I'm going to bring her down here for a second, let her be. Most of the time, she'll get to a spot where she does not want to switch her shoulders. All right. Good. So she's trying to come a little further. I'm going to back her up. I'm not trying to hit her, but if she runs into my stick, oh well. So I'm actually just asking her to do the barrels at the walk. But her extroverted and nervousness, she's wanting to do them at the trot. I'm just going to do this a few more times. Push the shoulders. Push the shoulders. Good. And this time, I'm going to have her go touch the barrel. As she gets up closer, I'm going to give her the cue that, hey, I want you to stop. There. There. She loves her target touches. Gives her something to focus on and something to do. So next, we're going to go to the next barrel. She doesn't want to leave that barrel. I'm going to give her attention here. Have her touch that one. Good. Nice. She's wanting to come again back on top of me, which I don't want. So I'm going to play it just a little faster. So I'm going to be hustle, hustle, hustle. Hustle, hustle, hustle. And then stop. Good. So I asked her to go a little faster than she wanted. Let's do the other one. A little faster. And right there. Stop. Oop. And stop. Good. So we're playing with, hey, can you move a little faster? There she starts to get a little nervous again. Pushing. And stop. So she learns to stop where you tell her. And stay there. Yeah. So she's anticipating. It's okay. Just want to get to the point where she doesn't have to. Alright, so that's one exercise I do. The other one is a half moon. I love this exercise. Alright, so the other exercise I'm going to do is a half moon exercise. You're going to need a solid wall. And I'm going to send her to one side, disengage, have her stand there. And then I'm going to have her come over here, disengage, stand there. This is a great exercise if you have a horse that is nervous and needs to move their feet a lot. Again, you will be the one directing their feet. You've got changes of direction, you've got the shoulders, you've got the yielding. If you have a lazy horse, you can give them a cue, really have them canter to one spot and then stop. Be very clear about your stop and start. So, I might play that a half a dozen times with her. And she's really wanting to get more connected. She's really wanting to come in and be closer to me. I like the way she's looking at me. She's got her head down low. I didn't ask her to come in. And since I'm being very particular with her about this, make her stay out. All right, the next one we're going to do is the leg yield, because the leg yield is really going to help soften her mind. So I'm going to have her look at the fence, and then I'm going to use my stick and my body. Good. And for her, I'm only asking 2 or 3 steps right now, so she doesn't get too tangled up. So you can set it up like you do the half moon. And just think about using your stick, your body, to push there. I want her front legs crossing over, and that was really nice. So we're going to do this side again. Once I get in, take them. Let her face the wall. I want her front legs to cross. I'm going to tap her here. There. Okay. That was a really nice one for her. The other one. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is a walking half moon. So I'm going to be walking in a straight line and having her move her shoulders and change. So this one, you just want to use a lot more safety awareness of where your horse is, because if they do get upset, they could side kick. So you don't want her too close to you, but let me demonstrate how I do this as well. So I'm going to send her around. I'm going to start walking my straight line. Push the shoulders. Push the shoulders. Push the shoulders. Okay. Push the shoulders. Push the shoulders. There we go. So anything that I can do to get her to move her haunches and her shoulders when I ask. Don't like her on top of me there. Ask her to come stand here. So she's still doing our half moon. Good. The other thing I do practice with her is making sure she gets plenty of friendly with the stick and the rope, so she doesn't realize there are times that I'm not actually asking her to do anything. She's just going to have to stand and to be. So I'm going to take a deep breath with her. Just let her breathe a second. So here's my evaluation of Magic so far. She is definitely showing to be a right brain extrovert, at least until she gets more connected in her body. So I think when her mind connects more, she may revert back to being more of our left brain horse that we thought we had. But for right now, you've got to use the horse that you have. You have to adapt and be what the horse needs. So today, again, she was definitely right brain extrovert, moving her feet, unsettled, super sensitive about everything going on around her. At least now I feel like we're having a little more conversation, but you can notice at the beginning, she really doesn't care what you have to say, what you have to offer. In fact, she just doesn't want to be in the space with you. So if the fence wasn't here, she clearly wouldn't have been in here with me. She would have been gone. So no judgment there. It's just where she's at, that she needs to learn to enjoy the space more, to be confident and enjoy her work more. So these are some games I've definitely been playing with her lately to address some of that. You'll notice too, a lot of times when she gets really stressed and she starts releasing that, she'll make a lot of weird faces with her lips and her mouth. That is a sign of stress, or she is releasing stress. So not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a thing to notice with her. I think there's a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff that's coming up to the surface with her, and we're just going to have to figure out what she needs from day to day. So Play with the backing up game, your circle game, do your half moons, your figure eights. She didn't get really big today, but she has gotten really big and strong before. I may try to shoot another video and see when she's fresh again so I can kind of show you some techniques. It takes all I have to be able to use my leverage to disengage her and handle her. So she is not for the person who's not ready to handle this big of a horse, because not only could you get hurt, but you're going to set her back too and just reinforce that, hey, if I get bigger and just pull harder, then I'm going to get away and get my way. So that's my word of caution for you with a horse like this. Now, I would play with my groundwork and all of that. I'm not even bothering to ride her right now, because to me she doesn't get better under saddle. So I need her to be confident on the ground, being out of my space, and then I will do the same things with her saddle. Then I will do the same things on the mounting block. Then I will do the same things in the saddle, and hopefully that confidence is going to continue to carry over. Now, if you're working with her, honestly, one of the worst things that will undo what you have done is march her right out of the space, go turn her out with her herd, and she just disconnects and kind of forgets. So with a horse like her, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tie her up in the space. I will be around, my cameras are on, so I'm going to supervise her. But she is going to stand for a good 45 minutes or more, so she can absorb and soak in what has happened here. She may move, she may paw. I've got her on some safety ropes, so she'll be fine. I'm not worried about that, but she might act like she's just totally hating life being tied. But being tied is going to be a great skill for her after she's worked. The next thing I might do is let her just be turned out in the space without any horses in here or anything, just so she's comfortable being in the space and she has time to process it at her own rate. The other thing, I don't do this with every horse, but a lot of times with extroverts, is I will do multiple sessions in a day. She's obviously not physically worn out, so it's building new patterns in her mind and her brain, new neural patterns. So after 45 minutes, I might give her some water and a break, and then I'll try to do 1 or 2 more sessions with her, and I expect those sessions to get better and better. The reason I do that, and the reason I started doing that, is with the extroverts that have to move their feet a lot and get a lot of energy out. If I just do once a day, when I come out tomorrow, I kind of have to work through that 20-25 minutes of energy to get to the learning part and get to practicing those pathways over and over. Whereas I've got the edge off her right now, she's probably going to come into a better state of learning by the time I do it the second or third time today. I don't do that with every horsenality, but with someone like her or something we're trying to do an intensive with, I encourage you to practice that. That is something that I found to be very helpful. So thanks for watching. I'm going to go turn or tie her up now, and I look forward to sharing the next video with you.